Exchange rate. In the endless span of orange-brown soil, I saw my tiny metal shack standing out against this wave of nothing. Every day after waking up, I scanned the barren land dotted with patches of green, the tall irrigation machine standing like a ghost in the field. A dust storm passed me by, a reminder that someone else's farm was blowing past you. This was the response we received from John Hampersum, a farmer and writer in the driest country in the world, Australia. We reached out to get a first-hand view of this seemingly unsolvable issue plaguing the nation. John has trained his entire life to become what his father and grandfather were, but because his farm has disappeared in front of his eyes, he may be the last in the line.
Welcome to CropLux, an indoor precision agriculture company established in 2020 in Sydney, Australia, by the three owners, me, Felipe Martinez, and my partners, Anthony Awad and Pranav Narayanan. CropLux's pioneering automation-based hybrid farm allows for drastically greater production rates for crops in a market that heavily lacks supply. CropLux desires to galvanize the Australian agricultural sector by supporting traditional farmers who experience inconsistent periods of growth and are unable to supply the grocery stores properly. Our mission is to help address these deficiencies and to provide a landmark for affordable, consistent, and high-yield agricultural alternatives for the country of Australia.
On the surface, Australia is regarded as a technologically advanced nation, leading the world in major scientific industries. However, over the past several decades, a significant and irreversible hindrance has plagued the nation. That plague is climate change. The ozone layer in Australia is the thinnest in comparison to any other nation, reducing the amount of arable or farmable land to just 6% of the total land mass. Additionally, the center of the country is one huge desert, and it continues to expand. This overarching issue is the root of several major downfalls of the agricultural and food supply industries in the nation. The first issue is water scarcity. With an increase in UV radiation comes an increase in temperatures. This blistering heat causes increased rates of evaporation and transpiration. As a result, Australia is currently losing 17% of accessible surface water and experiencing a record low rainfall. This leads to the second problem, the Australian farmers' money misery. Because of the now shortened growing season, 75% of farmers are experiencing drastic revenue reduction. This is compounded with rising resource costs, with farmers having to spend more on irrigation and fertilizer. Finally, because of shifting conditions and cutbacks on resource spending, the quality of Australian produce has plummeted. Australia is massive, and to get from one side of the country to another, it takes days. This causes produce to rot and lose nutritional value. Nobody wants to purchase or eat rotten food. With all of these issues, it is projected that the crop production in Australia will decrease by 20% by the year of 2050. This presents CropLux with a clear opportunity to create a prosperous business and positively affect the nation.
And now on to the fun part, our solution. The method by which all of these problems, water scarcity, a lacking growing environment, and economic issues will be solved is through the hybrid farm. The hybrid farm is our take on an indoor farm. Indoors, plants are not exposed to the harsh conditions that the Australian environment poses, while other indoor farms have extremely large startup costs. To decrease the initial capital costs, generate the required revenue, and make crop production rates increase, CropLux has added 3 primary innovations. Firstly, because of the Australian soil's poor quality, we have created NeoSoil. This soil substitute is made of synthesized cork and plastic and looks like this. When fully synthesized, you can see it here at the bottom. This material allows for better distributed nutrients and water. What's cooler, however, is that once the plant's roots break it down, we can recycle and resynthesize it again and again, unlike soil. Secondly, we have decided to automate the entire farm. This means that we have employed an artificial intelligence system which controls various robotic technologies and sensors. This allows us to regulate all factors of plant growth, including humidity or disease prevalence. Finally, the name CropLux is split into crop, obviously referencing the plants that we grow, and lux, meaning light. Light is the most important factor in photosynthesis, giving a plant its energy. Therefore, in order to make plant growth most efficient, we have created a 3-tiered lighting system. Tier 1, which houses leafy greens, is the greenhouse level. Tier 2, which houses the vegetables, is lit by fiber optic cables, which carry natural light indoors. And Tier 3 is the dark level, housing the root vegetables. Each tier is customized to help their specific plants grow at their best. The light inside the farm is filtered to be purple, because this is the most efficient color for plant growth. With these innovations, the neosoil, automation, and the 3-tiered lighting system, the hybrid farm is sure to exceed both traditional farms and other indoor farms. Here you can see all of these innovations put together in a similar setting as our farm.
When beginning a company in a foreign nation, it is often a struggle to acclimate to the new market. In order to overcome these struggles and establish a trusted brand in Australia, CropLux seeks to adjust to the industry's demands by focusing on the customer's interest. Our primary customer, large supermarket chains, desire an increased quantity of produce. Smaller grocery stores, our secondary customers, prioritize food consumers and the trends they have. There are so many food trends on the internet that it's getting hard to keep count of. But in Australia, they're really currently into healthy and fresh produce. And the demand of this produce is something that CropLux can meet. In order to meet the unique needs of both of these customers, CropLux plans to launch utilizing a greenfield investment strategy, which means that we plan to build our whole business from the ground up. Despite the high upfront costs, CropLux sees this market entry strategies as the ideal balance between pleasing our customer and making it possible for our company to overcome obstacles presented for startups.
There are various risks associated with the establishment of international business, including the creation of CropLux in Australia. First, due to high initial startup costs, including machinery, equipment, and robotics, there is a high barrier of entry into the market. This may be overcome by creating a stable payback plan, such as the one outlined in our financial section, and gaining a loyal customer base. Additionally, Australia is a nation that is heavily reliant on food resources, heavily importing needed agriculture. With huge imports, there's nothing left for the domestic companies. But CropLux will still thrive due to our ability to easily distribute crops because we are located near the city center. Although there are several risks, CropLux will begin the agricultural restructure and become leaders of the industry. CropLux contains several complex farming processes, in addition to the intricate business operations that we must manage. These include distribution patterns, technological advancements, and general development. To direct the function of the company, CropLux plans to employ 3 different branches of employees: research and developers, business operators, and crop managers. Each group possesses a specialized task. Communication skills will be essential in these branches, so unique and specialized training techniques will be provided. In addition to structural complexity, the hybrid farm possesses design complexity. It is a massive machine in itself, running through the individual operations of its components. In order to simplify several parts of the company, CropLux will utilize a cloud-based system to share information, continue to automate parts of the process, and streamline administrative communication through the use of an open meeting schedule.
In order to effectively distribute information and construct a customer base around the indoor precision agricultural revolution, CropLux will place emphasis on three primary methods of marketing. The first will be CropLux's attendance at several industry events, such as trade conventions and expos. Studies show that 72% of Australians prefer direct interaction, and what better way to do that than to meet face-to-face at these industry events. Secondly, CropLux will utilize an online marketing system, using social media to attract both the primary and secondary customers. Finally, as the tertiary method of marketing, we plan to sponsor Sydney's farmers markets to increase local exposure. Just like here in the United States, because of the health turnaround in Australia, farmers markets have gained massive popularity and may serve as an incubation setting for CropLux. By using these effective marketing methods, CropLux plans to build a loyal, strong, and extensive customer base.
CropLux's profit system is based on a hybrid billing revenue stream. While this may sound complicated, let's simplify it. Traditionally, farmers utilize a direct selling stream where they are paid for a quantity of crops they produce. However, when the production is down, they make less money. Additionally, since vegetable demands may fluctuate between the months, traditional farmers cannot meet these drastic changes in crop supply. To solve this issue, CropLux has adopted a recurring or subscription-based system. This involves a monthly fee of $2,000 for larger customers and $200 for local grocery stores, ensuring that CropLux maintains a revenue throughout all the months. However, to purchase the crops, companies make a singular purchase from a range of pounds per month. Because of the existing monthly payment, these singular purchases are made at a fraction of the cost, enabling for greater flexibility based on demand. Our total revenue for the first year is about $3.5 million, and our total profit will be about $400,000, a healthy amount to reinvest in the company and keep the company growing.
As can be clearly seen, Australia is struggling to feed their population and direly needs a solution. We at CropLux offer ourselves as a hope to the devastated industry and present a viable answer to these issues. As agricultural self-sufficiency continues to fall, we are asking you, the investor from the Australian Commonwealth Bank, for your financial support to assist in creating change. Your financial involvement can truly spark hope for a better tomorrow. Help us rethink the world of farming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.